Now, most of you already know by now that the cost of living in South Africa is too high. I mean, the products or the day-to-day products that we use, we are seeing the prices continuing rising. And ladies and gents, this rising of the products that we are using on a day-to-day basis, it looks like it's going to continue growing even on the second half of this year, which is something that is of course a serious concern to us, the consumers. I mean, just today I read some sad news of saying that petrol again on Wednesday, it is going up again by over 2 rands and 36 cents, which is something that again, it is one of the concerns, or it is one of the things that is going to definitely hurt the motorists that use their vehicles, their cars, going to work on a day-to-day. So this, ladies and gents, it is a concern, and it is one of the things that is going to make inflation to continue to be high, which guess what, that will result in the central bank doing. They are going to continue rising interest rates, and that again will have a significant impact to those consumers that have loans, because obviously their loans repayments are going to also rise, which is one of the things that of course it is a concern. But over and above all these things, you all know that if you are in South Africa, we've got another big issue that is of course hurting a lot of consumers and businesses, and that is of course load shedding. I mean, those of you that follow me on my social media handles, especially Facebook, yesterday I did post a sneak peek of the article which I was reading of the load shedding. And of course this we've seen and we've heard a lot of complaints on the radio of small businesses to medium businesses coming and complaining to say that their operations is being affected or impacted by load shedding, which is one of the things that obviously this is going to have a huge impact on our economy. It is definitely going to drag down our economy. And personally, I thought that load shedding does not have that much of an impact to bigger businesses. But ladies and gents, as I was driving, going to work this morning, on the news, Sibanye-Stillwater, which is one of the big companies or mining companies that are operating in South Africa, came in and said that if load shedding continues like this, then it's definitely going to start affecting their production. So the kind of production that they are producing in their mines will be affected, which guess what that will do to Sibanye-Stillwater, as you all know that it's listed in the Johannesburg Stock Exchange. It's definitely going to slow down their revenue, or the revenue that they generate on a year to year, which, ladies and gents, is going to definitely affect also the share price. Is going to definitely affect a wide range of things, which is something that obviously if you are investing in the stock market, you are also going to be definitely be affected by that. And this, ladies and gents, to get a big mining company like Sibanye coming out and say that load shedding will, as time goes on, affect their business, just definitely means that even all the other mines, all the other big businesses are definitely going to get impacted by this load shedding. And ladies and gents, this will make our economy to not do well at all, which is one of the things that those that are now investing in the stock market or investing in SA companies are definitely going to be affected by this, because you will know that obviously, yes, the economy is not expected to do very well because of high inflation and interest rate hikes, but on our side we have got something that is just a problem or concern in South Africa, and that is of course load shedding. Because yes, we know that inflation is high even in the US. I mean, in the US right now, inflation is currently sitting at 8.6%, so it is also very high in the US. But over and above these inflation issues that other countries are facing in the world, we also have, or we have, an additional major issue called load shedding, which, ladies and gents, like I said, it is going to continue affecting and impacting not only just small to medium businesses, but even big or large businesses are going to be impacted by this load shedding, which is something that I, as a retail investor or as someone who's investing in stocks into local companies, I become a bit worried when I buy shares locally, because I know that we also have a problem of load shedding, which that will also have a bad impact in the revenues that the companies are generate. So this is something that as a retail investor or as someone who's investing in the stock market, you should bear in mind or have in mind when you are investing in the stock market, that of course due to this load shedding we might see companies not performing the way they should. I mean, on the article which I shared on Facebook about load shedding, I mean, that article stressed the point that it looks like these load shedding problems that we are facing as a country are not going to get better anytime soon. Instead, they are saying, or that article indicated that it is going to become worse. With this, of course, long cuts or long power cuts, we are going to continue experiencing it even in the months to come, which is something that is a concern, because it also highlights that it will get to a point where obviously this load shedding will cost our country 4 billion rands per day. So our country will get to a stage where it will be losing around 4 billion rands due to load shedding only, which, ladies and gents, when I read that article, I was very sad, because this just definitely means that even economy, or if we are to look at the growth economy-wise locally here in South Africa, it means that it might not even grow by much due to the load shedding. It might not even grow by much due to also inflation, which to me, I'm very worried, I'm very concerned. And ladies and gents, these kind of concerns are the ones that, honestly, if I'm to be honest with you, they are the ones that make me move a chunk of my money into the US stock market, because there, yes, I know that they've got a problem with inflation, and I know that obviously with time it will get better. But here, even inflation, I know it will get better. But the problem with South Africa is that, ladies and gents, we, like I said, not only do we have a problem with high inflation or the cost of living impacting or rising, but we also have a problem of load shedding, which I've not had a solid solution from the government or from Eskom indicating what is it that they plan to do to avoid this load shedding. And this, my ladies and gents, makes me to be worried putting a lot of my money in the stock market this side, because I know a lot of companies are going to be impacted by this load shedding. So the fact that this load shedding is set to become a norm and will cost 4 billion rands of our economy on a day-to-day due to load shedding, it is a serious concern on my side. And ladies and gents, until I find or until I get to read a solid solution coming from Eskom as to what are they trying, or what do they plan to, or what are they planning to do to mitigate this kind of load shedding challenges, I'm still going to obviously continue to taking out a chunk of my money and investing it abroad, because I know in terms of local stocks, yes, there will be growth, but it won't be by much due to, of course, load shedding, due to, of course, high inflation, which, like I said, high inflation, it's also in the US economy or affecting the US. But yeah, I know it will get better with time. Same, I'm thinking that obviously inflation even here is going to get better with time, but my worry about the local companies is load shedding. This is one of the most this is one of the most important things that I'm really worried about, and especially that already businesses, we have heard them complaining or starting to complain about load shedding. Even big businesses like Sibanye Stillwater, as I said, are hearing them or getting to hear them complaining to say that this will affect, or this load shedding will affect their production in the near future. It's one of the things that, ladies and gents, makes me to obviously think that even the revenue, they are going to start losing revenue, and not just Sibanye, all the other mining companies, all the other big companies are going to feel the heat or seriously be impacted by this load shedding. So if I were you, I would definitely obviously start also diversifying my portfolio, and not just only invest in SA stocks or buy shares locally only, but also consider buying stocks or shares internationally, because, ladies and gents, it's always good to obviously diversify your portfolio over different kind of markets or over different countries. If you were only investing in local stocks, you need to start considering investing in international stocks. You need to start considering investing into US stocks, Chinese stocks, because at least there you know that the economic conditions is not as bad as here locally. In fact, in China, the economy in China it's one of the best current economies right now, because you remember that even their inflation in China, it's just around or just over 2%, which is very, very low, which is one of the things that makes me to like even Chinese stocks. Otherwise, with all that, guys, I just thought I should just give you this quick updates about the current economic conditions and how they affect, of course, as the retail investors who are investing into the stock market. Otherwise, with all that, guys, I make tons and tons of stock market investing videos. And if you think that this video was amazing, please don't forget to hit that like button, comment, and subscribe. And once you subscribe, don't forget to hit the notification bell so that YouTube can notify you every time I drop a new content. Otherwise, that's all from me, and I wish you nothing but the best in your stock market investing journey, and God bless you all.